What's going on, everyone? Mike Kadlick, Tayler Kyles here for CLNS Media outside of Gillette Stadium, back down here post-Christmas as the Patriots continue to get ready for the Los Angeles Chargers coming in here this Saturday. A quick reminder, we are powered by Prize Picks and Game Time, and today we are here to bring you 3 keys to the Patriots contest again this weekend here at Gillette Stadium. Taylor, what do you got for us? How do the Patriots, if they can, stop and beat these LA Chargers?
Well, it's going to start with stopping the run. Obviously, you got Jim Harbaugh, a guy who loves to pound the rock, and offensive coordinator Greg Roman brings a very different element to this Chargers offense. Jeremiah Farms, we actually just spoke to in the locker room, and he brought up the fact that this is not the same Chargers offense that they played last year and wound up losing. Was it 3-0?
Yeah, so 6-0, I think.
6-0.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I knew it was a single digit and then a 0, but this is a very different team on both sides of the ball, and the Patriots have really struggled to stop the run. Now, I know Gerard Mayo has become kind of semi-famous for saying, yeah, if you take out that one play, we would have done really well, but last week was the first time we actually heard him acknowledge that the run defense was a key reason they lost that game, because not only did they give up the big touchdown run to James Cook, they also let the Bills have consistent positive yardage on the ground. The Bills got away from the ground game, and we said it was a very confusing tactic. The Chargers are not going to give them that same luxury. So if the Patriots don't stop the run, it's just going to open everything up for the Chargers, especially in the next category that we're going to touch on.
Yeah, I was going to say, J.K. Dobbins still coming back from injury. Gus Edwards has been kind of their, not their bell cow back, but someone they've leaned on in that backfield heavily. But continuing on the offensive side of the football, how else do they have to stop these Chargers?
Yeah, you got to make sure you don't give Justin Herbert the middle of the field. Now, all this is going to be much easier said than done. That Chargers offensive line is outstanding. One reason they're such a great run game, it's not just because of the running backs. They're solid. It's the offensive line that gets them going, and it gets even harder to put any pressure on Justin Herbert if you don't stop the run, because then they're going to kill you with play action. DeMarcus Covington told us today, everybody talks about Greg Roman rushing offense, but they're one of the most explosive passing teams in the NFL. One, because that offensive line gives Justin Herbert a lot of time, but if you don't know whether they're going to run or pass because you haven't given them any incentive to stop running, it's just going to make it that much tougher. And when you think about Ladd McConkey, obviously he's a hot name because the Patriots wound up trading away the pick the Chargers ultimately used to get McConkey. They end up taking Jalen Polk. Obviously worked out much better for the Chargers. They got Tarheeb Still, they got Ladd McConkey. The Patriots got Jalen Polk and Javon Baker, who have done nothing for them this season. So if you're going to contain this Chargers passing game, it's not one that's going to kill you outside the numbers. It's really on those crossing routes, those deep in cuts. Like Drake May, Justin Herbert's kind of quarterback. He's very tall. He can see over that great offensive line, and he will be more than happy to attack the middle if they give it up. So, one, if you stop the run, then you can play a lot of man coverage. I think that'll help them out, even though Marcus Jones seems like he's not going to play. Could be more of John Jones in the slot after a good game last week.
Yeah, Patriots head coach Gerard Mayo was asked today about Ladd McConkey, about the work they did on him ahead of the NFL draft. Said they did do some work on him, a guy that can get open verse man coverage, good against zone as well, and definitely a player they have to keep their eyes on, that's for sure, like you said, especially in the middle of the field. Now, let's flip it over to the Patriots offense. What do they have to do to attack this very solid Chargers defense this season to try and get a win on Saturday?
I think the biggest thing is they need to know where the Chargers defensive stars are and try to mitigate them as much as possible. This is a very well-coached and good Chargers defense, but they don't have a whole lot of star power. Like Tarheeb Hill is one of the guys in that cornerback group that you really think of, and he is a rookie. But Derwin James, one of the first guys that Gerard Mayo talked about when he broke down the Chargers on Tuesday, saying we got to know where he is, because Derwin James can do everything on the football field. He can line up outside, in the slot, deep in the box. He can blitz, he can cover, he can defend the run.
He does everything.
So Derwin James, you at least need to know where he is so you can try to get your play away from him. And obviously you also got Khalil Mack, who's still getting it done in the NFL off that edge. And on the other edge, you got a Bosa brother to deal with. So if you let those guys wreck the game, it's going to be a long day in Foxboro. But if you give some chip help against Khalil Mack, you're probably going to have Trey Jacobs back on the right side of the line. Vidarian Lowe had a really good bounce-back game last week. Only allowed, I think, 1 or 2 pressures, but we talked about Joey Bosa. That's a really tough matchup. So you got to know where those guys are and make sure you have a plan to mitigate them as much as possible.